Sting is going to be working a few house shows, but won't be on TV for at least several more weeks. He's been out of action a while during dealing with personal life issues. That usually means drugs, but that's not this case. Sting has since talked about this, saying that he was trying to save his marriage at this time, and he had became a born-again Christian. So
I assume he did save it.
I think so. Pretty sure he did. People who don't know, Sting's brother is actually the preacher of a pretty large church, I think, in Texas. So I think I believe that's a church that Sting attends, actually, is his brother's church in Texas, but I could be wrong. Somebody else who later became a born-again Christian, but is not at this time, Eddie Guerrero, was in a major car accident on New Year's Eve, suffering several serious injuries, including a lacerated liver, a fractured pelvis, and supposedly a large portion of his calf was ripped off. Guerrero reportedly fell asleep at the wheel and ended up being ejected from the car. The car was totally destroyed, and in this case, the fact that he was not wearing his seatbelt probably saved his life.
That sounds so horrible.
Yeah, I know.
Hey, guy, you were wearing your seatbelt.
Yeah, I know, right?
Said no one ever.
When have you ever heard that? It's like, man, if only he wasn't wearing his seatbelt, maybe he could be still alive. But yeah, they talked about it in oddly enough, the Chris Benoit episode one of the Chris Benoit episodes of the Dark Side of the Ring, where, yeah, Eddie was, I think, drinking or pilled up or a combo. I don't know, but he fell asleep behind the wheel and totaled his car and ended up in a tree. And they were shocked that he was not only did he go on to have a great wrestling career after this, but he was still alive and able to, function as a normal human being for quite a few more years.
Look, I'm not trying to be funny, but is Dean Malenko the only one of the radicals that was never messed up?
I think so. I mean, Chris supposedly did a buttload of steroids. Eddie was on pills and alcohol. Saturn, I think, did just copious amounts of stuff. How, by the way, is Saturn still alive and the other two are passed? I mean, I'm not trying to say, oh man, Saturn should be dead. I don't wish that upon anybody, but like, he's had a rough life, dude. Yeah,
no. I don't think he ever got over their deaths either. I'm not trying to make excuses for him, but I feel like that's what everyone said about Benoit when he did what he did. He said Eddie's death just basically killed him inside.
Yeah.
Probably a horrible choice of words.
Well, yeah. They said Benoit and Eddie had a relationship that it was almost like Chris lost his life partner, not just, his best friend. Yeah. But they basically lived like a married couple. They were together more than they were with their actual spouses. They shared hotel rooms together. They did. They worked out together.
I think that's what Kofi and CM Punk said about each other.
Yeah. Because CM Punk said Kofi was basically traveled on his bus.
Yeah, he was his wrestling husband or something like that.
Yeah, a lot of people do that kind of stuff. So